What's up, everybody? Welcome to another ride video and mystery bike reveal. I am very excited about the footage on this video. I think it's stunning. It's a little bit of a sunset into nighttime ride. The capture that I got with the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro I think is phenomenal. Hey, before I jump in, the gentleman on the right in front of me is my friend Kevin Lee. Kevin is a major bike connoisseur, and he's on his brand spanking new Pinarello Dogma F rim brake, a rare-ish, if you will, type of bike. Kevin was very excited about building this bike out and being able to bring it out. We spoke a little bit about some of the parts he was sourcing for it, so I'm happy to see him on it finally. And you know what? I'll see what I can do about having an opportunity to feature this bike on the channel. By the way, Kevin is the biggest Cannondale Cat 10 fan I know, so I'm always surprised whenever I see him on anything else. Anyway, let me describe a little bit about what this ride is about. It's called the Team Recovery Ride, hosted by Team Origami. It's a Monday, Wednesday evening ride that leaves from Origami Bakery Shop in Weston, Florida at 6:30 p.m. It runs through Weston for 30 miles at a 20 to 22 mile an hour pace. You will finish this ride with about a 20-ish mile an hour average, sometimes a bit more. And despite what the name implies, it is not a recovery ride. I call it a mid-tempo type of ride. If you sit in and you know how to be on the wheels, stay close enough to the front to avoid the surges, it will be kind of like a zone 2 ride. Otherwise, you'll get kind of like a low zone 3 type of average. Well, anyway, those are my results on the ride. Typically, you'll get 50 to 70 folks showing up for this. I've seen as much as 100 people out here. And what you'll get is a mix of experienced guys who might have done their hard miles in the morning or right before the ride, and then they'll show up for this ride just to get a little bit of volume work in. And a pretty good mix of newer type cyclists who are out here for the workout and the social aspects of the ride. I like it because after I get home and shower, get myself something to eat, it helps me have a very good night's sleep. Plus, I get to see some of my friends, which is always a plus. The ride is spaced by Jesus, an absolute beast on a bike, and any number of other strong cyclists who'll join him on the front. Sometimes the other pace line rotates, maybe 5 or 6 guys swapping turns with a gatekeeper. All right, let's see if there are some good points here that I can cover to make this kind of interesting. The way that I'll do is I'll share a little bit of raw footage. I'll do my Strava analysis, and then at the end, I'll reveal what bike I'm on. Some of you will probably already guess. Don't spoil it. Let's make it fun for everybody. All right, let's go. We're about 7 miles into the ride, about to come off of South Post Road, and I've got to mention that this ride really doesn't have any type of significant warm-up. Once you get on South Post Road, it's about a 2.6 mile brakeless stretch that culminates in a roundabout at Saddle Club Road, where the ride settles down a bit. But because of the nature of this long stretch, it can be hard and unpleasant experience if you play it wrong. Despite the steady pace up front, South Post Road can get very surgy. I've got my friend Mark in front of me who I know and trust and is a very good steady wheel. But someone ahead of us was doing the accordioning thing, and what I did was I just matched what I felt was going on up front, letting the gap in front of me swell and shrink. I don't remember who was directly behind me, but they knew what I was doing and they stayed put. I've had situations in the past where somebody saw what they thought was the beginning of a gap and very impatiently came around me only to position themselves on the wheel in front of me to be yo-yoing back and forth. So sometimes it's a good idea to just be patient and observe before taking action. So as I said, the ride settles down and I have found myself on another good wheel. This is my friend Sean, who's a master's racer, very experienced. And when I say the ride settled down, I don't mean so much in terms of pace. The pace is maintained. but in the relaxation of the ride. The accelerations are smoother at this point, and the surges are not as bad. And that is partly because we're all warmed up now, not only physically, but also, and perhaps more importantly, in the whole idea or notion of being comfortable around each other, which I think is the biggest benefit to having a ride warm up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to gradually move up throughout the ride, just so that I can offer different vantages of different riders, different positions, and different wheels.
Hey Pops, let me get in here for a second.
We are about to get on another really long stretch of road. This is called State Road 84. We're going to head east down one end of State Road 84. Then we're going to kind of do a U-turn and then head up the west side of State Road 84 where the speed is going to pick up. It's what we call our turn-up zone. Ellis is now in front of me. She is one of the organizers and ride leaders. Ellis is always calling out behavior and advocating for safety and good interaction with motorists. You'll definitely hear her admonishing the group and reminding them of what our safety protocols are throughout the ride.
Didn't you just do like a 22 mile an hour average?
I'm trying to be just like you.
Dude, I don't do that kind of stuff.
You told me I need to pick up my flag.
Yeah, but that's not what I do. Come on, Ellis.
Go ahead, Papa. Go ahead. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
both you holding it down.
Wide out, my bro.
What's up?
Solo 50.
Yo. It's crazy how big that group is.
All right, looking at the numbers, 28 miles at 20.7 mile an hour average. No actual power numbers on here. Ride reflected that I was in zone 3 mostly, but it was kind of like a low zone 3. I'll take that. I'm down a bit on my miles and my riding, so my fitness is suffering a little bit, but definitely up on my rest. So
Yes.
I don't know what type of advantage that correlates to, but I feel like I can
Good
do these
ride.
rides as long as I fuel right and keep it moderate. All right, let's talk bikes.
Anímanse. Bike reveal time. I think most people who are familiar with the channel probably guessed that I was on the Cinelli Nemo Tig Gravel. I first became intrigued with this bike, really the road version of it, when I saw it, because I was like excited about a mainstream cycling company building a modern steel frame for performance with modern attributes like carbon fork, being able to take disc brakes, even though they also had the rim brake version of it, and it's made out of Columbus Spirit tubing, which is really good. And then when I saw the gravel version of it, I was like, if I were going to build a gravel bike, I would want it to be built out of steel. So I made it my business to make sure that I got my hands on one in the right size for me, in a color combination that I think really stands out. I love the way how this bike has come together. They call it special green. It's a green that sometimes looks kind of like bluish. It's just really, really, really nice. I've got a couple videos already out on the channel where I talk about the initial build, my initial ride impressions, and also the first set of upgrades that I did to the bike, which primarily involved the Windspace Grapide wheel set and recently the Eccar crank. By the way, on the video that you just watched, I was running a 40-tooth chainring. I've recently upgraded it to a 46-tooth chainring, and even with the 40 and the 10-30 cassette, I had no trouble being able to keep up with the group. I don't know what would have happened if we would have gone up to 30 miles an hour or something like that, but I was fine at those speeds. And I had no problem with the bike being able to stay at 22, 23, even 24 miles an hour. When we were transitioning from like 23 to 26 miles an hour, that required a little bit more effort than normal, even coming out of the turns, being able to get back on the wheels and accelerate. It's not like I felt it, but I know that I was putting out more effort than I normally would, obviously, because of the weight of the bike and the tire choice that I have on there for it to be all road. But I specifically wanted to do that ride. It's not really a fast group ride. It's like a upper mid-tempo group ride. I mean, you saw the speed with the bike in what I would consider like my gravel guys, and it performed really, really well. So it checked the mark that I wanted in terms of the versatility of the bike. I first built this bike because I wanted something that would perform very good on the road, very good on the gravel, because sometimes we do these combined rides where we do like maybe 30, 40 miles gravel, and then we get on the road and ride back home for about 50 miles or something like that. And this bike is perfectly suitable for that type of adventure. One of the other reasons of me having this bike on the channel is because I'm going to use it as a mule to be able to test out different group sets, different wheel sets, different componentry, and I have a consistent base that is reliable and familiar to me so that I can give really good feedback on those things. Every once in a while, of course, I'm going to throw things on a performance bike, but this bike with road wheel set absolutely flies. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that ride. It was a lot of fun for me. And yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. As I said, I'll post the videos that show the initial build, the upgrade, so that you can come up to speed with the bike. Let me know what you think about the bike and the ride. And you guys have already sounded off, said that you'd like to see more of this type of content, so I'm gonna keep doing this type of content. All right, thank you for continuing to support the channel by watching our videos, by liking, commenting, and subscribing. As always, our aim here is to inform, instruct, inspire. Be blessed.